the Community Hotline. My name is Monica Weitzel, and we're here in Gresham at MetroEast Community Media. We're here to talk with nonprofit organizations about good things they're doing in the community or events that you might want to enjoy this summer. I'm going to start out tonight talking about Home Forward. With me tonight is David Woodmark, who's the chair of the Board of Commissioners for Home Forward. Welcome, David.
Thank you.
And thanks for being here.
You're welcome.
Home Forward is an organization for low-income people that are looking for housing. That's part of it. That's a little tiny part of it.
Yeah.
Correct?
Home Forward actually started in 1941. It was created by the city of Portland, and it was primarily created to deal with the housing issue for the war effort that had just started.
I didn't realize it was that old.
Yeah. So we, and then after the war, then this was Vanport. So Vanport was, of course, flooded out later on, but that was the affordable housing. So that's where we got our start.
All right.
So, and then in early 1990s, then the Housing Authority encompassed all Multnomah County. So Gresham, Fairview, we go up almost to up through the Cumberland Gorge. Anywhere in Multnomah County, we provide public housing.
Okay, so by public housing, is this Section 8 housing?
We do Section 8 housing, we do short-term and long-term rental assistance, we provide housing for seniors, we provide housing for those with disabilities, and really what we do is we provide an opportunity for people to have affordable housing, but also an opportunity to improve their lives.
Oh, that sounds like a very worthy goal. I want to touch on that a little bit more, but when you say you provide housing, are you referring people to, say, an apartment complex, or do you actually have them yourself, own them yourselves that you rent to?
We actually have over 80 units, or 80 apartment complexes within Multnomah County. And we have over 6,000 people that live in this type of housing. Then on top of that, we also administer the Housing and Urban Development Funds, Section 8 housing, and we have over 6,000 people that are involved in that, and that allows people to have a subsistence for their rent. And so we cover over 15,000 people that we provide housing for in the county.
That's a lot. Now, I know you brought a video that kind of gives us a little idea of what Home Forward is about, so maybe we can take a look at that, and then we can talk a little bit more in detail.
You bet.
Okay.
I was homeless, and I was so insecure, and I was so worried about just having to survive. This has given me a great stability and a chance to really start to live my life instead of trying to focus on survival. I have grown so much. Since I've been doing this volunteer and doing something for other people, it's like my health has gotten better. You know, I don't feel disabled. I don't act disabled. I don't let it control my life. I've learned to work around it. I have roots finally. For once in my life, I have roots. And I see me growing old here. So it's just an awesome thing, you know, it's done for me. And I just thank God every day for my home. I really do.
Having a place to live is something a lot of us just take for granted.
Correct.
We don't really think about it. But.
Right. And you know, and you saw in that video, you know, at the end, you know, we call it Home Forward now. We changed our name 2 years ago. We really felt we needed to be reflective, to encompass that. We encompass the whole county. We don't just are Portland centric. And so it also shares with people that hear that name is that we also provide opportunity, and that's really what we're about.
So they have the opportunity to have a place to live that they can afford to live in. What other things do? You have other programs that are part of Home Forward?
We do.
You mentioned rental assistance.
We do rental assistance. We also do short-term rental assistance. We work with 16 other partners with that, City of Portland, City of Gresham, Multnomah County, and we administer those funds. We combine those funds together to help people for, for a couple months rent, if that's what
Something that tied them over?
Tied them over. And actually in East County, Human Solutions is the contractor that handles that for us.
I wondered about that. Because we were talking earlier about how hardly any organization can get by themselves anymore. We need to help each other really to make a difference. Are there other organizations, nonprofits that you work with?
We work with a variety of nonprofits across the county, and we are always looking for opportunities. How can we partner our efforts together to get a bigger bang for our buck?
Because together you can make a bigger difference, yeah.
Exactly. And actually, the City of Gresham later this month is going to be voting on what we call a governance. And what it is that we're pulling together a consortium. The county, City of Portland have already approved it, Home Forward, and the City of Gresham. And that governance will encompass and manage the funds that we all get separately. And how can we spread them further across
So will you be putting them all together and then trying to see what you can do with that? Oh, okay,
Correct.
okay. Now I know you've made some changes in the way you used to run your housing to now. For example, I understand there's a new place that recently opened, and I think we have some pictures of a couple of your properties.
Correct.
But do I understand it correctly that you've added to the kind of services that are available at those properties?
We do. Yeah, actually for some time now we have what we call a goals program in a number of our facilities, and the goals program actually helps people to get help in how they budget, how they educational, get their GED, and it's a 6-year program for these people that want to participate. And what we do is we actually take part of the rent, put it aside in a savings account, so that when they finish the goals program in 6 years, they have enough money, in most cases, to make a down payment.
Really?
Or they can use it to start their own business. It's very restrictive, but we actually help them.
That's pretty impressive. I like that. I like that. Now, this is some of the housing.
This is some of our housing,
that's
exactly.
Really nice.
And what we try to do is provide great architecture, great living space. This happens to be out in Columbia Villa. And then we also just opened a facility last Friday. It's called Stevens Creek. Here's a picture of Stevens Creek. We just did the opening for that last week. This was a horrible situation where we had previous housing. We went in, leveled it, and raised it about 20-some feet and built this housing. We now have 122 units in here in this complex here. And in this one here, we're also doing early childhood development.
Like a Head Start kind of thing?
It's a Head Start,
Is it a Head
correct.
Start?
Yeah,
Okay.
we're doing Head Start there. So, we're look at all these opportunities that we have, and we really try to make a community of opportunity.
That's great. It's almost more of a holistic approach to helping somebody who needs housing. Because,
Exactly.
looking at helping them for their future, helping them get the education, and the Head Start for the kids. I mean,
well, and the thing is that we feel so strongly about this that we have actually partnered with the Reynolds School District here in East County at Alder School, and we have actually set aside vouchers so that we can keep families together and keep those kids in one school for a longer period of time instead of being uprooted and moved elsewhere.
because that's very hard on them, isn't it?
And it is extremely difficult on kids, and so we're looking at how can we help create a better grounding for these kids so that we can stop the cycle of poverty.
Yeah, that's great. It's a very worthy endeavor. What other things should we know about Home Forward? Are there opportunities for people to get involved, or is this, or if somebody wants some help, what do they need to do?
Well, we're always looking for. I'm always on the lookout for board members.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a good thing to know. Now, how many people do you have on your board?
We have a board made up of 9 individuals, and City of Portland has 4 positions, Gresham has 2, the county has 2, and we have actually a 5th one from Portland, and that is we actually have a member of our board who is one of our residents.
Oh, is that right? Now, I like that because that's somebody who knows exactly what you're talking about.
Exactly, and they are part of that whole rental
good.
group, and so she represents that. We have a woman that does that right now and brings a whole wealth of information to the board that we would not see.
Yeah, that's important.
So I'm always looking for board members, people that have different skills, different sets, and I really believe that your board needs to reflect what your population is.
Yeah, I think that's important too. So, and that can be difficult. That can be difficult
Very
to
difficult.
find. So if somebody feels like they have something they could add to your organization, and perhaps does reflect, the wealth of diversity that we have in this
Correct.
area, that they should contact you at Home Forward, and
Correct.
maybe there's a place for them on the
Maybe
board.
there is.
'Cause you can-
Then we also provide, we're also helping the VA in their whole voucher program.
Oh.
And that's something that is fairly new for us, but we are administrating that for the Veterans Administration.
I bet that's a big project.
And that has become a big project.
Yeah.
And I know it's a little different than you're looking for volunteer opportunities, but we are always looking for projects that we can do to help make livability far better. We did Rockwood Station last year. We put in a large playground there, and we partnered with an insurance company. And they provided over $60,000 worth of equipment for playground equipment.
So if there's a business out there that really wants to become more involved in their community and show their support for a community, could they contact Home Forward and say, hey, we have this we can offer, how can we partner?
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
And nonprofits too?
Nonprofits, yes.
So you work with Human Solutions, you work with Impact, places like that?
And also Snowcap. We just
Snowcap.
recently
They're
did a
fabulous,
project
yeah.
for them. And so we're always looking how Boys and Girls Club, they've just taken over the D's
Right, out in the
facility.
Rockwood area out there, yeah.
And so we work with them. So we work with a lot of nonprofits across the county.
And so if somebody was having an issue with finding housing, can they go to the website? Are they able to
They can go
get
to the
some
website,
information there?
and it's pretty well, it is spelled out through the website on what we have. Unfortunately, we have so many people that do want to live in our housing.
It's probably a pretty long wait to get that kind of help.
Exactly. We have a waiting list of over 3,000 people right now.
Wow.
There's just not enough housing.
That's frustrating, yeah.
It is.
So what are the plans going forward then?
Well, the plans going forward is that we actually have 5 towers that were built 30 to 40 years ago. They need to be some structure being done to those, so we call it 85 stories. And it's a project that we're doing, and it's these towers all total 85 stories.
Wow.
And it's rehabbing those.
So they make them like earthquake up to code and
handicap facilities.
and our population just keeps getting older, so
Exactly,
you have to accommodate.
exactly.
All
And
those
we are
kinds of
also
things.
looking at aging in place. That's another program that we're doing.
Oh, okay. Tell me just a little bit about that. We're almost out of time, but I'd like to hear about that.
Aging in place, what we're trying to do is making facilities more handicap accessible, so people can live longer in their home
own
or in their
homes.
apartment or wherever. So yeah.
Sounds good to me. Well, thank you, David, so much.
You're welcome.
Sounds like
Thank
you're doing
you.
good work around this whole county, so
We really
appreciate
do.
it.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching this first segment of Community Hotline. Don't go away. We are now going to go from sort of a serious topic to a little more fun things, and we'll be finding out some things you can do with your family in the area here over the summer. So we'll see you in a minute. Thanks. That's good.
Thank you.
What local community media is to us is literally our lifeline to what's going on in the lives around us.
The absolute most important thing that happens in your neighborhood.
People's local communities are usually what's most important to them.
Because we're the faces, the smiles, the peoples, and the personalities of the community.
To not only give people a voice, but to have their voice heard.